2023 Roblox anime as a whole was definitely one of the most interesting years. In general, there actually were a lot of games that released this year and introduced many things to us and also started to evolve the community in a really different way. I already made a video covering each game, which was this video right here, so if you want to see that, feel free to go watch it. But specifically for this one, I just want to talk about 2024 Roblox anime games and the future of them as a whole. So we have a lot of huge named games releasing this year, and I'm going to be using them to also help explain the hope for 2024 games and how good it's going to look this year for those games that are going to be releasing. So just in general, some of the things that we actually have releasing and coming out this year are going to be Rel's, Holy War X, Yaiba, Hockey Anime, and Jujutsu Infinite, plus much more games. I'm also looking forward to everything pretty much because I really do feel like this year is going to be the best, but these ones in general have actually showed us promising stuff, and I feel like a good thing to start with for them would be a development of 2024 Roblox games. So things differ for each one, but recently we've been getting a lot more progression based games compared to what we're used to. And if you don't know what a progression based game is, it's more so like where you're rewarded for actually playing the game besides just completing a certain objective and moving on to the next one for the game. So I feel like a perfect example of that could actually be Rel's. Now, I'm pretty sure majority, or if not everybody watching this video knows what Rel's is, but Rel's, they have been showing, and they actually said specifically to us, that the progression for this game is mainly going to be based on how you explore the islands around you and interact with the world. Now, this is based off of a One Piece game. If you watch the One Piece anime, you know how huge, wide, and vast the world and sea is inside One Piece. Essentially, Rel's is going to be a non-linear progression game, and comparing this to the One Piece show itself, this is actually perfect for a One Piece game. Typical One Piece games that we get like way before 2023 even is just where you would have to do a certain objective, which would like involve some form of beating up a certain bandit, and then you would move on to continue beating up that certain bandit. We're finally now moving into like an era where game developers are just kind of making games where it's like you actually have to play the game to progress the game, which is perfect because it'll allow people to look into the game in multiple different ways that we haven't been able to look into the game before, because we're actually going to be playing it and not just doing what we're told. This non-linear progression has also encouraged many other games to follow it, and some ones that I just know off the top of my head would be like Holy War X and Clover RPG. There's definitely going to be a lot more, and I'm really looking forward to that. But this in general just promotes people to actually explore and enjoy playing a game, compared to just meeting your objective and then moving on to the next one mindlessly doing it. So yeah, honestly, I am looking forward to this aspect of games. I do want to say that I'm not strictly just stating that every game is going to follow like this sort of mindset or this sort of progression, because there's still going to be games that follow stuff that's been shown off before. But currently what we're kind of heading towards is like more games being made in the way where it's like the developers see it as a passion project and actually want to make people play the game and want to have people explore it. And before I talk about another game, I also just want to state this inside the video, that I'm not trying to hype up these games as the savior of Roblox anime or anything like that. Because what I personally believe is that you should still set your expectations low for a game until you actually play it and judge it yourself. Yes, it's good that we're here like seeing all these sneaks and being able to hear about like the development process of the game, and it can generate a lot of hype. I'm not trying to like discredit that, but I also feel like until you play the game yourself, you shouldn't like go into it with the mindset that, oh, this is going to be the best thing that I'm ever going to probably play on this platform. Because then if it doesn't meet that, you would feel like the game is bad. So yeah, and you also shouldn't forget when you're talking about these games that you should like and subscribe to this video, because it's technically a new experience too. Thank you. Another game that also has promising exploration mechanics being made for it would actually be Holy War X. Now this game, they work more in silence and they're kind of perfecting their functions a lot inside the game, which is honestly going to be a really great thing. Alpharex himself stated like some things about some of the mechanics for this game, with one of them being how you're going to be able to become a Holy Knight, and if you're like a Holy Knight guild, you'll actually be able to arrest people, and it really does sound like he's trying to flesh out the whole entire world of 7 Deadly Sins. Now, I haven't watched the anime that much, so if it sounds like I'm just chatting and you actually know what I'm supposed to be talking about, congrats. But besides that, he also did show us some ship combat for Holy War X. And the one thing that I actually do really like about this ship combat that he's showing us is that you can tell that there's actually going to be some effort and people are going to be using this feature compared to it just being there. So the ship combat for this game, it's honestly, I don't really know how to describe it. Currently what he was just showing us was him like using the cannons and how easy it looks to be able to, like, you're gonna be able to control it. And assuming that the ocean is going to be this wide inside the game, because what other reason would you need to like actually fight with your ship? It seems like this is honestly going to be a really good feature. You can also tell by like the detail, the quality of this clip, that time is being put into this game and they're trying to perfect it inside every single aspect. He also added in that thing that Rose Seas has, where you're able to like stick with the momentum of the boat, which is honestly beautiful for Holy War X, because there's going to be flying inside this game depending on the race that you get. But yeah, just in general, this ship combat and just this game in general is mainly like a passion project and something that Alpha Rex wants to like complete himself. Holy War X itself was supposed to release a long time ago, but he decided to delay the game so that it can become much better, not only for the players, but just because it's his game and he really does care about it. Now, another game that I also feel like is going to be really great if it releases for 2024 would also be Pocket Anime. And the main reason as to why I'm bringing this one up is because of the unique idea of this game. Now, Pocket Anime has, I think, been confirmed to us since 2022. So over a year ago, we got like the first look into this game. And from that first look, this idea has been shown. And from that first look, that idea was honestly one of the most creative and smart things I've seen on the Roblox platform. So if Pocket Anime does release inside 2024, I feel like this would allow people to think more out the box and just kind of create something that's more interesting for a lot of people to play. The idea of taking anime characters, people from multiple different shows, and then combining that into the formula of a Pokemon game, it's honestly one of the most beautiful things a person could ask for. I myself am a fan of both Pokemon and anime. Being able to combine that and then play it inside of a game honestly does sound like one of the coolest things ever. Like, imagine that some of the gym leaders you gotta fight is like Kaido, and then sometimes you're fighting up Boros from One Punch Man, etc. There is quite literally an endless amount of things you can add to this game, and there's so much stuff that you can do for regions, gym leaders, the storyline, etc. Pocket Anime is definitely going to be a huge game if the developers actually get it down the right way. I really do feel like what this is going to bring for the platform, for players, and not even players, other developers, and just the whole community in general, is a more deep understanding and look into the type of games that can actually come to this platform. Because, like I've already said, this idea is honestly one of the best things, and it's so cool and simple, and I feel like if it's pulled off the right way, it can probably become one of the highest played games on the platform. Moving on from that though, the last game that I actually do want to cover for this video is going to be Yaiba. Now, this game is probably the one that isn't as like on the radar for most people besides all three of the other games that I've just stated. But Yaiba is going to be a Demon Slayer game that I feel like is going to be heavily based on combat. Now, I'm pretty sure that we've only gotten around like one sneak for this game besides like some VFX and just models for the game. But from that one sneak alone, we're able to understand that Yaiba is going to be a parry-based Demon Slayer PvP type of game. Now, when I think of this, the first game that comes to my mind is going to be Type Soul. Now, even though Type Soul really did go down in flames, and for some people it wasn't even that good of a game, the PvP for Type Soul has honestly been one of the most enjoyable and probably one of my most favorite PvP systems on Roblox itself. Eventually, before Type Soul died, the game just started to turn into skill spam, and ones weren't like the main orientation of it before. But I feel like taking the system of like a PvP game and being able to perfect it on a really good level where the developers are being competent and we're actually getting good updates that benefit and support the game would honestly create a very good staple game to just take like a reference off of for PvP for Roblox games. Now, it does definitely sound like I'm hyping up Yaiba to be something, even though the only thing we've seen for it is probably like one combat sneak. But just imagine a Demon Slayer game with a nice world, You already know that like most Demon Slayer games, they have good graphics. So then you add on the good graphics on top of that with a really good PvP system. Even if you may not like Type Soul, the PvP inside the game was honestly very good and very fun and entertaining. And you saw how much money the game was able to generate just from being a mainly PvP based game. I feel like Yaiba can actually accomplish that itself too, if the developers played their card right, and hopefully it does release 2024, because I feel like it'll really be an exciting game and very fun to play. Now, just like this last little segment of the video, I'm just going to rank the games in order of the ones that I think will release most likely in 2024 compared to the one that I don't think will release most likely in 2024. So there's only going to be 5 games on this list, and at number 1, I almost like 100% believe it, that Rel Seas is going to release like late 2024. Now, I could be wrong about this. I'll just say that I'm putting like 90% into Rel Seas releasing in 2024. Then for number 2, I'll put Jujutsu Infinite releasing in 2024. I feel like this game is like almost guaranteed to release sometime soon because there's a lot of stuff inside of it. Number 3, I'll have Holy War X releasing. I'm kind of 50-50 on this because it seems like Alpha X is constantly evolving and being able to just continue adding new stuff towards the game. Same with all the other developers, so I'm kind of like 50-50 on that. And the 2 games that I have the least would definitely be Yaiba at number 4, because we still haven't really seen much for the game, and then Pocket Anime at 5. Because if you want to release a Pokemon game, imagine if a Pokemon game released with only the first gym, and you have to wait a month to get each gym. And not only that, you would also have to add in like a side storyline where you have to fight against an antagonist team trying to do something devious. Yeah, I have Pocket Anime the least because there is a lot that you have to add to that game. You have to get the typings down, the super effective charts, etc. I don't really believe it will release in 2024, but hopefully I'm wrong. And besides that, I also hope that you did enjoy this video. I'm going to try to aim to upload it around a New Year's release time, so Happy New Year's as well towards that. Hopefully 2024 is great for all of us because my goal is to definitely hit 50k subscribers. I'm quite literally half of the way there, so if I'm able to manage that last half, it would be honestly perfect. So if you want to support that, feel free to like and subscribe because that's the only way I could actually go up. Besides that, hopefully you did enjoy this video. Comment the game that you want to see coming to this platform the most this year. I feel like Rel Seas would probably be the most one, but for me personally, it's probably going to be Pocket Anime and Yaiba because I really am like a fan of Pokemon and I love a good combat system. So besides that, hopefully you did enjoy this video and thank you for watching.